In the vast and cold ocean, where people have to face the harshest nature, there is a silent and arduous journey, the journey of fishing in the middle of the ocean. In this video, let's follow the fishermen, the warriors of the sea, to explore the process of industrial fishing on modern ships, where each catch is the result of perseverance, experience, and luck. Once the fishing location has been determined, the entire fleet begins to prepare the first catch. Multi-layered nets, weighing hundreds of kilograms, are carefully lowered into the deep sea. Every rope, every knot must be strong. Just one small mistake can cause the entire catch to fail. Beneath the deep blue water, the giant net begins to hit bottom. Every move is a carefully calculated strategy, from the depth, the speed of the pull, to the direction of the wind and current. In just a few minutes, the net will close, taking everything in its path with it. This is the art and the challenge of bottom trawling. After the net had made a walk around the seabed, it was time to pull it up to inspect the catch. Dozens of seagulls had gathered on the surface, a familiar sign of fish. The hydraulic winch system began to work. Meter by meter, each loop of line was carefully collected, drawing the anticipation of the entire crew. No one knew exactly what was inside, but everyone hoped it would be a bumper catch. And finally, what everyone had been waiting for appeared. A huge, heavy net bulging with tons of fresh fish was brought to the surface, to the cheers of the seabirds and the joy on the faces of the sailors. Each mesh of the net revealed patches of pink, silver, the sign of a good catch of red fish. This was the most thrilling moment, where hours of hard work paid off. The net was pulled up on deck, heavy with tons of fresh fish inside. The distinctive smell of the sea spread, the red water covered the floor, a sign of a successful trip. Now comes the climax of the journey, when the catch overflows from the net bag and pours into the holding tank. Thousands of bright red fish cascade down the flume, creating a scene that is both chaotic and pleasing to the eye. After hours of tireless work, the results are now neatly placed in cold storage compartments. The bright red, fresh fish are immediately preserved to maintain their quality, ready for the next journey from the ocean to the table. Under the deep blue sea, the net is closing. The sea creatures, which used to swim freely, are now within the coverage area. The net is not hurried, but strong and precise enough to gather schools of fish feeding along the seabed. And then, one by one, the fish began to pour out of the net, streaks of silver on the deck. Violent struggles, full of survival instinct. This was the time when the sailor was not allowed to rest, because everything happened so quickly. The deck is now almost empty. Fish spill out of the nets, covering the wooden floor. Each splash is a survival reflex amid the rumble of the machinery and the crashing waves. The fishermen have to be both quick and agile, because if they are even a step too slow, the fish will slip into the sea, losing all their efforts. But for them, this is a familiar moment and also the clearest proof of the value of experience, endurance, and faith in the sea. In the middle of the vast ocean, an unusually moving area of water around, heavy net appeared. It was a sign that the catch was waiting to be harvested. Seabirds came in greater numbers. They instinctively realized that beneath the waves was a feast waiting to be opened. And for the fisherman, this was a moment of joy. Slowly, the net bag weighing several tons was lifted from the water. Red fish were densely packed in each mesh, forming a brilliant mass of movement in the blue ocean. This is no longer a prediction or hope, but a clear reality. A large catch, a bountiful harvest is emerging from the deep sea, like a gift from nature to humans after so much hard work. Once the fish have been collected in the hold, the crew begins an equally important step: gathering and rearranging the entire net system. The nets are hundreds of meters long and weigh tons, neatly arranged along the deck. Every knot, every buoy is carefully checked to be ready for the next fishing trip. Once the net was brought close to the ship, the work did not stop. The sailors immediately opened the mouth of the net, adjusting it so that the fish were evenly discharged into the trough leading to the cold storage. Each operation requires precision. A discharge that is too fast can cause the fish to be crushed, affecting the quality, but a delay can also disrupt the entire refrigeration and sorting system below. Fish flooded into the hold. Sailors got into gear. A closed process, rhythmic like a machine operated by people who have spent their whole lives attached to the ocean. Thank you for taking the time to follow our offshore fishing journey. If you find the video interesting and want to see more content about the sea, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest videos. Each view, each support from you is the motivation for us to continue sharing the most authentic footage of life at sea, a place full of challenges, but also full of faith.